My name's Ruth and my business is called Mind and Body Matters. I'm a Pilates instructor, a personal trainer and massage therapist. So I do get a lot of people that come to me with problems. They've either been referred to me because of Pilates for their back, or they come for a massage because they've got stiffness in their back. So I recommend, first of all, various exercises that they can use in conjunction with posture pump. Okay, so I'm going to do some pelvic tilts, which is a really nice way to start to mobilise the spine. So what we're doing is flattening the back and tilting the pelvis up, and then we're going to arch the back, tilt the pelvis away. So you just need to really be thinking that the hip bones are coming towards the ribs as we flatten the back, and then you're going to take the hip bones away from the ribs as you arch the back. And this is really good just as a small warm-up to get the mobility of the spine, especially if it's a bit stiff. And to begin with, it won't move very much if you've got a bit of a stiff lower back, but afterwards it's just really good, and it's a very good exercise to do before we start going into a bridge. Okay, so the bridge, we're lifting each vertebrae off the mat one by one. Okay, so you start off in neutral spine. You engage the tummy, you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you flatten the back and then tilt the pelvis to bring it up all the way, keeping the shoulders stabilised, palms up to the ceiling so there's no pressure going through the arms. Take a breath in, engage, and come back down again as you breathe out. Again, replacing each vertebrae. So what you're not doing is coming up in a plank. You're making it work. So the whole of the spine is working. It's called the windmill arms and legs, and it's really good for lengthening the legs and the arms. You've got to keep the tummy, the core engaged. You've got to keep a neutral spine so the back's not flat and the back's not arched. And you're just going to take a breath in and then engage, and as you breathe out, just extend one leg and the opposite arm. But keep the shoulders stabilised, and breathe in and bring it back in into the footprints, and as you breathe out through the mouth you swap sides. So this is really good. You need to really be thinking about what you're doing, but it's really good for lengthening and stretching, but making sure that you keep the core engaged, the shoulder blades stabilised, and just as a nice stretch. So I often ask people to do 5 on each side. Okay, so this is a cat arch, and again, we're trying to get some mobility through the spine. We're keeping the core engaged, okay, so navel to spine, and we're just in an exaggerated neutral spine, so the bottom is sticking right up. Okay, then I'm going to take a breath in, breathe out, and then I'm going to tuck my coccyx under and arch the back just like a cat does when they stretch, and you're opening up each vertebrae, which is exactly what the posture pump wants to do. Okay, and then we're going to take a breath in and then come back into neutral, or take it even further and you lift the head. So we're getting the full range of motion with the spine. So we're breathing out again, keeping the core engaged, tuck under, tuck the coccyx under, opening up the shoulder blades, and then we breathe in, and then you're going to stick your bottom back out, and you're looking up and you're taking your spine down as far as you can. So you can see you get a huge range of motion there, and it starts to loosen up the spine, and again particularly good if you've got a stiff back, so to work in conjunction with the posture pump. So this is Superman, a little bit harder, so it depends if you're used to exercise or not. But this is, again, it's a little bit like the windmill when we're laying on our back, but we're up on all fours, and you're going to take an opposite leg and an opposite arm out. We keep a gap between the ear and the shoulder, but the emphasis here is to make sure that you keep the hip or the pelvis in line, so you haven't got a hitched hip, you haven't got a dropped hip. You want it nice and level, and you're lengthening that leg, keeping the tummy in, And that's going to help strengthen through the pelvis. You breathe in and bring it back into the knee print. And then you breathe out and take it on the other side. So you might want somebody to watch you and correct you to begin with to make sure that your hips are level. But it's a very good exercise just to keep that pelvis nice and strong, and you stabilise through the hips and the pelvis. And then you be sure to bring knees and hands back into the position and do it nice and slowly.